Photoshop Retouching Tutorial Number 2. Step 1, Surface Blur. To smooth out the skin a little bit, you can use a filter, blur, surface blur. And this tries to keep the edges around the sides of the head and the eyes a little more clear and smooth out the skin. You don't want to go too far, it makes it look kind of fake. Move the sliders up just enough to where it smooths out the skin a little bit. Click OK. And you'll notice it still blurred out the eyes a little bit. The whole picture just kind of blurred a little, so we need to get the history brush tool and the brackets on your keyboard. Make the brush a little bit larger and smaller. You just click and drag over the eyes and the mouth and any other part you want to be clear. The history brush tool is just bringing back the original sharpness of the picture, so we can keep the smoothness of the skin and still get clear eyes and clear mouth. Step 2, the red eye tool. To get the red eye tool, you click on the Band-Aid, hold down on it, and at the bottom of the pop-out list you'll see the red eye tool. The red eye tool is pretty easy to use. You just click once on the red eye and it fixes it. Click once on the red eye and it's fixed. Step 3, Spot Healing Brush Tool. To get the Spot Healing Brush Tool, hold down on your red eye tool, and it's at the top of the list, the Band-Aid with the dotted circle behind it. And to use this, you can use the brackets on your keyboard to make the brush larger and smaller, or you can go up to the options bar, click on the drop down menu, and you can change the size of your brush. And you want to make your brush just slightly larger than the blemish. Click once and the blemish is gone. Click once and the blemish is gone. So you can click, or you can click and drag to delete blemishes, wrinkles, spots, cuts, scrapes, anything you want. Step 4, the Healing Brush Tool. Click on the Band-Aid. Underneath will be the Healing Brush Tool. The Healing Brush Tool is really good for dark circles under the eyes. Use your brackets to make the brush a little bit larger. Hold down the Option key. You'll see the crosshairs come up when you hold down the Option key. Move to a lighter spot in the face and click once. Then move up to your dark circles under the eyes. Click and drag. The crosshair right underneath shows where it's selecting it from. You just get that whole area, let go of your mouse, and it's fixed. To get the other dark circle, hold down on Option on the keyboard, click on the light part of the face, move up to the dark circles, click and drag with your mouse and fill in that whole dark circle. Let go of your mouse once you got it completed and it's fixed. And you can go up, back up, and do it again if you need to, if it's not as light as you need. Step 5, the Sponge Tool. To select the Sponge Tool, hold down your mouse on the Dodge tool. At the bottom of the menu, you'll see the Sponge Tool. Brackets on the keyboard, make your brush larger, or you can go to the Options bar and in the drop-down menu, change the size of your brush. The Sponge Tool works really good for getting rid of the yellow on teeth. You just click on the teeth and drag your mouse along, and the yellow will turn to kind of a grayish color. The Sponge Tool turns things black and white, so be careful not to go into the lips, otherwise you'll turn the lips black and white. Step 6, the Dodge Tool. The Dodge tool is really good for brightening up the teeth if they're too dark, or brightening up the whites of the eyes. Select your sponge tool and hold down on it. The Dodge tool is at the top. Brackets on the keyboard again. Make your mouse a little bit smaller. And just click and drag over the teeth. Everything you click and drag on will lighten. You don't want to do too much or the teeth get a little too light. Same thing with the eyes. You can lighten up the whites of the eyes by clicking and dragging. The Dodge tool can also be used to lighten shadows on the face. Find a shadow, click and drag your mouse on it to lighten. Step 7, Clone Stamp Tool. The Clone Stamp tool is used for copying things. So if we want to get rid of this frog, we can copy these leaves down here to cover it up. Click on the Clone Stamp tool in the toolbar. I'm going to go down to this leaf down here, hold down Option on the keyboard, and click to set my source. Then I'm going to move my mouse up to where the frog is, and click and drag. Just going to copy the leaves below it to cover up the frog so it looks a little bit better here. Step 8, Gaussian Blur. To put a glamour glow on the picture, we need to copy the background layer, click on the background layer, drag it down to the new layer icon, and you'll see the background copy. Next we go to Filter on the menu bar, down to Blur, and Gaussian Blur. We need to move the slider in the box here to where the picture is pretty blurry, where you're just starting to lose the details, but you can still see that it's a face. Click OK. Then in the Layers panel, click on the opacity. Move the slider down to around 50%. You can have it a little higher or lower than 50%, depending on the picture and your preference. And here's the final preview with the before picture and the after picture.